This front
In
office and
2.5
coaching staff
miles,
have
keep
been
right to
assembled
merge onto
unlike any I've
I-94
seen
east
in my
toward Detroit.
30-plus years of being a fan. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I think it will take 2 to 3 years to be competing consistently in the playoffs. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah.
That is the goal.
Yeah. And it is different.
We play to win the game. Hello?
Thanks, man.
And winning breeds winning. Losing breeds losing. To me, it's just that simple.
So is that the natural, right? With Robert Redford, losing is a disease. and we've got to find the cure.
Lionization is a disease too.
Yes.
It's not as bad as being attracted to ashtrays, but it's close.
We're running out of jobs.
AJ
That's an
Hinch,
all-timer.
AJ Hinch will join us next. 97 on the ticket.
Hey, if you're looking for a bank that you can trust, you don't need to look outside state lines. You don't need to look across the country because there's one right in your own neighborhood. That's Level 1 Bank. I'm a satisfied customer who trusts them to take care of me, my family, and all of our financial needs. If you're shopping around for a mortgage, reach out to my friends at Level 1 Bank. They have a team of experienced professionals who are personable and committed to serving you throughout the entire mortgage process. I mentioned that they're local. They live and bank locally right in your own neighborhoods. They're going to answer your phone calls. They're going to answer your emails. When you walk in, they're going to call you by name. So whether you need to finance the purchase of a new home or looking to refi, the Level 1 Bank team is ready to serve you. And for a limited time, if you finance the purchase of a primary or secondary home with Level 1 Bank, you qualify for a $500 credit off of closing costs. All you got to do is mention my name, 97 on the ticket, and you're there. For more information about this limited time offer, visit level1bank.com/John Jansen Mortgage. That's level1bank.com/John Jansen Mortgage. Level 1 Bank is a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Detroit's top shop for price and selection for beer, wine, spirits, cigars, and single barrel bourbon. Wine Garden on Harper, south of 9 at St. Clair Shores, and the new location on 19 and Shaner in Sterling Heights.
So then I dropped some garlic and croutons on there, and the rest is salad history. I made the best salad ever, people, and now I'm making the best ever. The Caesar Sportsbook have got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesar rewards. Caesar salad ain't got nothing on my app. Nothing.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Your app is ready, Emperor.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $34.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery. Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
At Henna's Organic Honey, business may be sweet, but they need an e-commerce queen bee to lead the hive.
Okay, these jars are going to Jakarta. Does that say Jackson?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
As summer heats up, so do the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using bonus code TOMN1000, and your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $1,000. That's amazing. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in MLB, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. When you register with BetMGM, you also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the king of sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code TOMN1000 to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. There is no way Johnny and Mo Clemens is offering that. BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time
baseball, and that's something that's sports is level. So I do love the fact you got back. I like the fact that multiple people contributed. I think that we're standing up for ourselves, playing 27 out, all the things that I've always preached, and our players are still into it. We haven't seen the season and playing out the season. I don't think you're going to get that from baseball for a lot of reasons, and that makes me happy.
AJ Hinch joins us on the Stoney and Jansen program. You talked earlier, I think this week or late last week, about the off-season free agency. Basically, guys, going to want to come play here. If not, the heck with them, all that type of stuff. We had Al on Monday, and I asked him about better off with one mega superstar, let's say $40 million or whatever, or like three guys who are good losing that much money. And he really couldn't say that much, but he actually said sometimes it's a mistake to put all your eggs in one basket. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I think it's all about the player and where he can help you. There is a risk involved. I don't go all in on one player. It depends on where your goals are. We look at our team, and that's part of it. It's evaluation month, but you look around the field, you see stable guys, you see some guys that are trying to make an impression, right? Certainly this month, Derek Hill and Akil and get that camera back up, but they're going to factor into our decision making on, do we get out? We have Rodney Grossman, really good about Akil too. Derek Hill's making a statement. There's some, we were raised like there's some very often. So you should, look at the lineup and stuff. They're fighting for the playoffs. Just never let up. Matt Chapman's battle. The trade for Starling Marte. They got Jed Lowry. Big things in the middle of their lineup. Our Canada kind of good players. The A's, even playing right now, they have a lot of good players. So you've got to make sure you keep that in mind. You're putting in your team together. Being up. Star players. That's not it. And hopefully they want to be a fighter. But my thing on you're not going to get that attitude. We have to train the names on.
Final thing, you play fantasy football, but you also attend the state where college football starts. How's the alma mater this year? Appreciate it.
You got it.
All right, that's AJ Hinch on 97.1. Love talking to you, Rick. By the way, no Miggy today. Whatever. It's a day off. Hey, if you're going to be in Vegas between now and the start of football, you need to be part of the largest football contest that guarantees $10 million to the winners. I was in it last year. million on the line between their contests. Circa Millions, which is the one I was in, has $4 million in guarantees, including $1 million in quarterly payouts. All you need to do is make 5 NFL picks per week against the spread. The Circus Survivor is a $6 million guarantee. All you need to do is pick one different team to win straight up each week, and the money could go to one winner or chopped up by anyone going 20-0. Best part, no rake. Each entry is $1,000. Go to circusports.com for more info. Now, here's what I did. $1,000. That's kind of steep. It's not only money. I got a few of my friends from college all chipped in, so we made, one entry. Each chipped in $250. Not that bad. You need to enter while you're in Vegas, and then you can play from anywhere. Or if you just want to get away, relax, have a great time, get to the D Las Vegas for everything you need. D taking all the safe precautions. Make sure your stay is safe and great. Missing out on all the high gaming energy and nightlife you want? Well, you don't want to do that. Go to Vegas. It has all that stuff. Book your next Vegas vacation at thed.com. Your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ 950 AM Traffic Center, this report sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. An overturned vehicle here, 696 westbound before Woodward. Left lane is blocked. We have traffic backups to I-75. 275 northbound at Ford Road. An earlier accident still has cars blocking the right lane. Traffic backed up to Michigan Avenue. Aside from that, brake lights for this work continue both north and southbound 275 here between I-94 and Sibley. And eastbound I-94 ramp to 10 Mile. The left and right lanes of it are closed. Have you gotten your COVID vaccine yet? Find yours at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine or text your zip code to 438829. I'm Tracy Bethesda with the traffic.
Make better bets, bet smarter, and beat the books today. Download the BetQL app today to better your chances. This is JR with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Money can buy you a lot of things, but not necessarily a winner. New Mets owner Steve Cohen is finding out firsthand. After purchasing the team last year for $2.5 billion, the team has already had its ups, but mostly downs. Texting scandals, players booing fans, and now a general manager who left the owner's mansion and was arrested with a DWI. And you thought Yoenis Cespedes was bad, chasing wild boars on his farm. Steve Cohen made it clear, not winning a World Series in the next 3 to 5 years would be a disappointment. Rome was not built in a day. This is a team that doesn't have a long-term president or GM. The Mets need a leader, because Cohen might be worth about $15 billion, but it won't matter if he can't find someone to manage the roster and cash. He can start by throwing cash at Theo Epstein to run the team if he wants to hit that World Series goal. I'm JR. It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn double, triple, even up to 5 times O-Rewards points on select purchases. Get bonus points on more than 200 items throughout the store, like wiper blades, fuel system cleaners, motor oil, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. Auto Parts. Pro football season's here, and Pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and the chance for a VIP Pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
This is Mike Cooper of National Benefit Plans, and you've heard me talk about affordable health insurance. Well, today I'm going to talk about providing you with affordable life insurance. I shop from over 70 different life insurance carriers nationwide. You won't be dealing with some phone jockey from 6 states over or wondering, is it available in my state? Instead, you will talk with me, Mike Cooper. I will make sure you get a policy that is right for you. Call me, Mike Cooper, at 877-734-2200 or on the web at nbphealth.com. And remember, National Benefit Plans would like to be your health and life insurance agency for a lifetime.
FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking new users up with enhanced 30-to-1 odds for the first big college football game of the season. That's right. Pick either Georgia or Clemson to win, and you could turn a $5 bet into a $150 payday. All sorts of bets like this, always on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Sign up and make your first deposit to kick off the college football season on America's #1 sportsbook. You heard it first here. Enhanced 30-1 odds on Georgia versus Clemson. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code ROJO so they know we sent you. Must be 21 or older and present. Michigan new users only. Must wager in designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. $150 maximum bonus. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Odyssey is your audio home for football, and the season is almost here. Keep up to date with the latest roster moves, QB drama, and more with local stations from across the country. Go deeper with podcasts from around the league, including First Things First, the GM Shuffle with Michael Lombardi, and Locked On NFL. Plus, get the scoop on this season's smart bets with the Daily Tip and BetMGM tonight, only on the BetQL network. Your favorite local radio stations and podcasts, plus hundreds of new exclusive music stations. It's all on Odyssey. Download the app today.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for our no appraisal 8-day close. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Last year, 97.1 The Ticket Student Heart Check Program detected over 150 student athletes who needed a follow-up with a cardiologist to ensure they have a healthy heart. Make time to have your child checked. Contact the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak.
There are no sweeter sounds. Hear the game. Here is all the play-by-play all season is on 97.1 The Ticket and the Odyssey app. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Mark Anderson coming up shortly. The telephone number 248-539-9797. Tiger Baseball 110. And we'll take on the Oakland Athletics. Matt Manning on the hill. When that game ends, it'll be Valenti and Rico. And I imagine they might have some sound. They might have some feedback if they actually get on the air, if the game doesn't take too long. From the press availability today, 3:30 of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, explaining why certain players were cut, expectations for the seasons, I assume, and haven't heard from Brad Holmes in a while, so it'll be kind of interesting.
And there's still some time for moves.
Yes.
Before Sunday and before they get in. Even in game week, it could happen. But I think Sunday we'll get a better idea of what this roster is going to be like against San Francisco.
Right. We know who's not on the roster right now.
Yes.
And one of those players is been signed to the practice squad in New England. And I'm not really shocked, are you?
No, and that's obviously Jelani Tavat, who was the second-round pick a couple of years ago. And I'm not surprised. We thought it would either be maybe Cleveland, where Bob Quinn is in the administration, or New England, where Matty P is. And it ends up he's in New England. And I think everybody wants to know, is he going to be the next Van Noy?
Correct. Well, I don't think so.
No.
And here's why. You know this, the X's and O's a hell of a lot better than I do, John, but it seemed that Kyle Van Noy was drafted for one particular system, and the Lions did not play that particular system. And then he was traded to New England, of all teams, where Patricia was there at the time, and he thrived in that system. Jelani Tavai was drafted to play in that same system, and he failed. He tried to survive in another system, which demanded him to lose a lot of weight, which he did. I give him tons of credit for having the determination to do whatever it took.
No one's saying he didn't try.
I'm right, but unfortunately he didn't have the talent, or at least appeared to have the talent, to flourish in the Lions' new system.
Well, and it's not a dissimilar system from what he was drafted for.
Right.
And so the weight loss, a lot of things that he did this offseason were to try and become a better football player. And in some regards he was, but in the most important ones, in regards, he was in position this year. He was doing some good things. He just couldn't get in he couldn't get to where the play was to make any plays. And if he goes to New England and they resurrect his very young career, they find a home for him, he may have some games here and there where he plays and he's back on the roster, not practice squad, but it's not going to be, he's not going to turn into a Pro Bowl player.
No, I wouldn't think so.
No.
Or somebody that was highly coveted by other teams like Kyle Van Noy was when he went to Miami. He's back in New England, right?
He is. Back where he found his success.
Right, that is so funny that him and Tavai are together, even though they...
It's very ironic.
Yes, that is the correct word. Look, if he does survive and thrive in New England, it just shows you basically how good Belichick is. It's not an indictment or a...
There's going to be a lot of eyeballs on Belichick this year because of the decisions that he has made. They went out and spent money in free agency, and they're utilizing all of those assets with a rookie quarterback.
Correct.
So he's either the smartest guy in the room or he's just trying to live without Tom Brady.
Which is probably what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to survive without Tom Brady.
Or trying to find the next one.
Yeah. And
if he's found him, then
kudos to him.
Well, and we've always talked, is it Belichick? Is it Brady? Last year, there's a great case to be made for it was Brady. They went on, Tampa Bay goes on to win the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens, not just this year, but I think in the next 2 years with the decision to...
They play this year too, right? Don't they?
Yeah. Tom Brady goes back to Foxborough. It is one of the top games on my list to see.
Carson Anderson are coming up next. Doug is here. What's happening, my friend?
How you doing?
We're doing good. Good.
Had a crazy morning today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. My daughter was supposed to take a driver's test.
Oh.
Now, so just here's something.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
We had about an hour drive to get there, and I had her drive. And in fact, the test was supposed to last from 9 to 10, and I was going to get in a little late today. As you can see, I'm here.
Yes.
The reason I'm here is because
she aced it and they said, hey, there you go.
She got her permit on March 5th. And we got an email that said you can't get your actual license for 180 days. Okay? 180 days. So we show up, and yesterday was 180 days. And the guys say, no, it's not 180 days, it's 6 months. It's September 5th. We're like, no, here's the email that said 180 days. And they're like, no, the state changed it. When did they change it? When did they change it? They changed it in April. We got this email in July, telling us 180 days. So after some back and forth, we lost. So I'm here on time, and she didn't get to take her test. But they have openings in November. As you can imagine, she's thrilled about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting? I was going to say, I'm very happy that she is upset about that because it seems like more and more kids that turn 16, they're like, yeah, I don't need to.
That was going to be one of my daughters. Really, at the time, she didn't even really want to drive.
We need her to go.
Can you?
Oh, yes, it helps.
Can you appeal? Or
I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We've called another place.
How was that the closest one?
It isn't. It was the closest one with an opening.
Oh.
Yes. So we had to drive an hour, and she did the drive. Morning commute through Detroit.
She warmed up.
Good experience.
You know what? I'll put it to you like this. It's like opening it's like the Clemson Georgia game. She's opening. I mean, that was her opener. I was in the car with her. We got to work on anticipation. That's what I keep telling you. It's anticipation. See those brake lights?
Yeah.
That means those cars up there are stopping. You might want to consider slowing down. Slow down.
It's not just the car in front of you. It's exactly 7 in front of them.
What else you have today?
We're going to start with Michigan and Michigan State. Bold-ass predictions for the season.
All right, that's coming up next. Carson Anderson, short and show for these lucky fellas. 97.1
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
The Tigers got a big spark in the middle of yesterday's game as they came back from 3 down to beat the A's finally. 8-6 the final score as that winning streak at Comerica Park stopped at 12. Miguel Cabrera doing damage and adding to his hit total for his career.
Miguel swinging a line drive softly into center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Purdue didn't read it. He's going to get home, though. Throw goes to second. Scope slides in ahead of the throw. Little flare dropped in front of Marte, and the Tigers take a 7-6 lead here in the 7th.
Dan Dickerson with the call right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Also, big hits from Harold Castro and Akil Badu, who discussed some conversations that he's had with manager A.J. Hinch and getting himself back on the right track.
It was definitely good to hear because it was something I needed to work on just as far as just letting go of pitches. I kind of got like a little bit too much aggressive kind of in a sense, and just kind of let my abilities take over and just realize that I always had that eye, so just continue that and go from there.
It'll be a day game today as they go for the rubber match against the A's. 1:10 p.m. the first pitch with Matt Manning on the mound right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Also in the minors, Tigers prospect Spencer Torkelson recorded his first multi-hit game at AAA Toledo, hitting a couple of bombs for the Mud Hens yesterday against Omaha. Michigan State made it official that Alan Haller will take over as athletic director after being deputy AD under Bill Beekman before he resigned. Haller grew up in Lansing and says that he's excited to help lead Spartan Nation. College football is starting to ramp up. The Spartans just a day away from their first game at Northwestern tomorrow night. Eastern will also open with a Friday night matchup versus St. Francis. Michigan set to begin their campaign Saturday versus Western right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Also, Central head coach Jim McElwain will miss his team's opener on Saturday versus Missouri. He was set to undergo surgery for appendicitis yesterday. And 2 years later, Ferris State football back for the first time since 2019 when they reached the national semifinals. They'll kick off at home against Findlay at 7:30 from Big Rapids. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Doug Kosh. This is a guy that would put it in my face.
And Scott the Gator Anderson.
I find his style to be a little messy.
On 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, Doug Kosh, Scott Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. It's been a crazy morning, to say the least, for us, as I just explained. But whatever. There's worse things in life than having to wait longer to get your driver's license. Do you remember getting your driver's license?
Yeah.
Remember what thrill that was?
I do. It was bittersweet, actually. I couldn't wait to get it. Literally, I think on my birthday, 16th birthday, went out, got the license, was so happy. And the next day, I was leaving on a class trip to go to Europe. So that night of my birthday, I said to my parents, hey, is it okay? I just want to take the car out and come back in like 10 minutes. And they're like, hey, yeah, okay. So I took the car out, but I drove over to my buddy's house, my friend Marlon, picked him up. I'm like, hey, man, I got license. This is awesome. So I picked him up and drove him back to my house. It wasn't that far away, but the 10 minutes turned into like a half an hour by the time I came back with the car. My dad was not happy. No, my mom was even less happy because I hadn't packed yet. And I'm like, hey, here's Marlon. And my dad's like, get out of the house. I'm like, well, I'll just drive him home. Nope, I'll drive him home. Like, oh, sorry, man. So it was a little rough.
Well, it got uncomfortable quick.
It got real uncomfortable real quickly, yeah. And then, my mom's like, you haven't even packed yet. And like, even then, I knew I'm a guy. I can pack in like 10 minutes.
So the thing about it is that feeling of freedom it's one of the great feelings in life when you first get your driver's license, and that feeling I can go anywhere I want. Like you're so fired up and stoked, and my daughter's gonna have to deal with the disappointment and may have to wait till November, but
I'm so glad she wants it though, because I know so many kids, that turn 16 and they don't care. It's like 17, they still don't have a license. They're 18 and they don't have a license. I'm like, you understand, you're going to have to be a functioning adult in society. You need to learn how to drive.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm glad that you're glad.
I don't envy the anxiety and everything else that's going to come with it for you.
Well, but
as a parent.
Here's the thing about it is I'm now on the other side. Do you remember, and obviously you do because you just told a story, when you first get the license, generally the parents don't just give you carte blanche to drive anywhere you want, anytime you want.
It's limited.
There are always restrictions, of which no kid follows, but you give restrictions. And
you're not with me in the car, you don't see where I'm going.
Well, but the thing about it is, you know me now, and I'm pretty much a rule follower. It wasn't back then, and I probably definitely was at places I wasn't supposed to be and took a car where I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, I was I may have done and said some crazy things when I was younger, but nothing that was harmful in any real way to myself or to others. I was actually very respectful when it came to the vehicle. I remember that when we started telling the story during Crosstalk about how you drove downtown, and it's kind of like, hey, here's your Clemson, Georgia beginning of the schedule. We're going to put you through the tough part right away. I remember in driver's ed, like the first time that we actually got the road test, when we left the grounds of the school, where we're just driving around in circles and parallel parking and 3-point turns and all that stuff, that your actual first road test, I thought, okay, no problem. We're just going to go driving around in the subdivision or whatever, just main streets here. Nope, we're going on the freeway. We're going to go to I-75. You know what? And it was, that was kind of daunting, but that was like a sink or swim moment, and I swam and it became so comfortable right after that, because it was like the confidence right away. Yeah, you got this. We're going on the freeway.
The only thing she cared about, the only thing that worried her was the parallel parking. And Dad's got a system. I think I'd be on the United States Olympic parallel parking team. I love to parallel park. I get out of the car and I admire it. I make everybody look how close to the car. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, sure.
And so I would be very disappointed if she did not pass the parallel parking.
I'm terrible at parallel parking, but these backup cameras have made everything so much easier. And literally a week ago, I saw something online, and all it was like 2 pictures to teach you how to parallel park. And I'm like, if somebody had told me that when I was 15, 16 years old, it would make all the difference in the world of how simple it is to parallel park in space.
Maybe you should.
It's just 2 simple steps.
I'll show my daughter the pictures.
If I can find them, I will.
Well, anyway, she's going to spend the day here.
She's back there already. Yeah, she's in her own world. You guys used some real colorful language, and she didn't even listen.
Well, it was Kang that used the colorful language, told a story that Jansen told, and implied something.
Yeah, no warning, no earmuffs, no nothing.
Well, look.
Hey man, I'll just repeat what Jansen said.
Well, here's the deal, though. If I bring her here, we have to be able to do the job. And if that means there was some colorful language used, I'm not mad at Kang.
I wasn't saying
I'm not mad at Kang at all.
I was gonna get worse, and I told her earmuffs after that.
I did hear you say earmuffs, and I was walking away, and I'm like, wait a second, what's going on here? But anyway, that was the morning. We'll have to reschedule it. Go on, but all right. Michigan and Michigan State. Tomorrow we'll do season records, but today we are going to do bold ass predictions. If you are not familiar with the bold ass prediction is a prediction in which you walk as close to the line that if you cross it, it becomes a dumbass prediction. Right? I mean, they're both going to make the playoff. That would kind of be a dumbass prediction, right? But what do you think is something bold people aren't talking about, nobody else is saying, that you think could happen this year with the Wolverines or the Spartans? Give your bold ass prediction, Michigan fans, for your Wolverines, Spartan fans for your Spartans. Gator and I will have our bold ass predictions, and then as they make the bold ass prediction, if you are bold enough, we do what we call punctuate the bold ass prediction. How we punctuate it is as follows.
That's punctuated.
That is punctuated.
You've earned it.
Yes. Now, I have 2 bold ass predictions. I only have one for each team, okay? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
For Michigan, Hassan Haskins will rush for over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns, finishing second in the Big Ten in rushing. See, this is based in large part about the new, first of all, he averaged 6.1 yards per carry last year. He averaged 5.1 yards per carry the year before. And he's only averaged 10 carries a game. And the new position coach, Mike Hart, was kind of Michigan's last workhorse back. And he understands all it takes for a back to get in a rhythm. And I think Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards have extremely bright futures. And in Corum's case, maybe even a bright now. But
same thing with Edwards.
Yeah, he might be. Hassan Haskins, I think, is going to start getting north of 15 yards and a little bit more. I think
15 carries.
15 carries, excuse me, yes. I think Michigan is going to get a little bit more bell cow when it comes to the yes. And I think Haskins is going to go over 1,500 yards or 1,300 yards this year. And I mean, he rushed. I think he had 100 yards a game in each of their last 2 games. I'll have to go back and look, but he's pushing that average of late. So I think Haskins. He's a tougher Davion Smith. He's a better Davion Smith. I know he's tougher.
That's really pretty tough, right?
He was a tough
yards.
Watching that at field level, that guy took a beating. and still managed to just work every inch out of every carry he could possibly get. I was really impressed with that guy's toughness. I think Hassan Haskins is better. So I'm going to go with Hassan Haskins over 1,300 yards.
Mine for Michigan is that J.J. McCarthy will start at least 2 games this season. Hey, thank you. See, Kate McNamara has been named the starter, but, I think sometimes Jim Harbaugh can't help himself. And whether it's Jim Harbaugh or whether it's injury, I think J.J. McCarthy is going to start at least 2 games. I also have maybe a little bit implausible, bold-ass prediction.
Oh, are you going to cross the line here?
Not really, but I should say Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
He's going to be a beast for the first 5 games of the season, right up until teams decide we don't want to run that direction, so they stay away from him. Results in a pretty good opportunity for Aiden Hutchinson. He gets an NIL deal with Snickers. Want to get away?
All right, I'll give it to you. Michigan State Gator. Last week of the season, Spartans 27, Penn State 10.
Oh. Or should I say, oh? I like it. I like that a lot. For Michigan State, Jalen Naylor and Jaden Reed will total over 2,000 yards receiving and at least 15 touchdowns. Wow. I think those guys are really good. And they're going to have a running game that's going to allow those guys to get free.
All right, get your bold-ass predictions in for the Wolverines and the Spartans. Have something interesting that's been put out there with the Lions we'll get to later this hour. 248-539-9797. It's Carson Anderson here on The Ticket. Hey, summertime is barbecue and boating time, but no matter the time of year, it's time to take up DTE on their offers to help you save money. Did you know you can get a $75 rebate at DTEenergy.com/AC when you tune up your air conditioner? An efficient AC unit can save you money, and it can make you money. And DTE has lots of other ways to save on their website, like the comparison tool, where you can compare energy-efficient appliances and electronics, and their 3D interactive home, where you can view your house room by room for tips, rebates, opportunities, and smart products. Go to DTEenergy.com/home. That's DTEenergy.com/home. Also, there's DTEmarketplace.com, where you can find great deals on Energy Star certified products that can save you money. Summertime or wintertime, take the time to learn more about saving energy, lowering your bill, saving money, courtesy of DTEenergy.com/HEC.
One of the things I love about betting on FanDuel Sportsbook is you get more than one shot to swing for the fences. Right now, new and existing users can get up to $25 back in site credit each day. Just place a minimum 5-leg baseball parlay, and if it falls 1 leg short, you get up to $25 back with the parlay insurance. If you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, new users can place your first bet risk-free. That's right, and new users also get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel Sportsbook, sign up with promo code WOJO to get in on the action. Must be 21 or older and present. Michigan first online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Maximum refund $25. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Progressive's Home and Auto Bundle Extrema Vesta Cypher-Thon, the annual year-long event for saving big on home and auto insurance. These savings are available up until and straight through Labor Day, Halloween, Grover Cleveland's birthday, Taco Tuesday, the anniversary of the moon landing, White Chocolate Day. The sale literally never ends. You can come on Jupiter's Ascension, National Pisces Day, but not Leap Day. Just kidding. We're doing Leap Day because every day is perfect for saving money with a home and auto bundle only at Progressive. But for real, we're not doing White Chocolate Day because white chocolate is gross. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts are available in most states or situations.
Turn your fall garden into a reason to gather with Lowe's. With our new lower prices on select bagged mulch starting at $2.88 per bag. And Eagle Lowe's as low as $159. This Labor Day, let's all fall together with Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Selection and product availability varies by location. Offer valid 9/2 through 9/8. While supplies last. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
What's stopping you from getting the original Peloton bike? I need flexibility with my workouts. Choose from thousands of classes available 24/7.
It's hard for me to stay motivated.
programs, artist series, and badges keep you reaching new goals.
45-minute bike. Okay, a 30-minute hit ride.
A 45-minute hip-hop ride.
You get all that? For how much? The original Peloton bike is now at its best price ever. Get game-changing cardio at a new game-changing price. The original Peloton bike, now $400 less. Learn more at onepeloton.com.
Starting Stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
The Detroit Tigers host the Oakland A's. Pre-game today at 12:50 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Yeah, 6 months.
I've discovered today that there is apparently a big difference. 180 days have passed, but 6 months have not. And hence,
That's so stupid.
That is beyond
That's so stupid.
It's just it's a stupid little technicality.
Don't write 180 days then.
well, that's the thing, is that they wrote 180 days.
How about just, when you send an email out, you give a finite date, like, hey,
Exactly.
starting on September 2nd, you can come anytime and take your road test.
Or September 5th.
Right. That sounds great.
We
Give me
could
that.
schedule it for today. If they didn't send us an email and said 180 days after she gets her permit. 180 days was yesterday.
So I can't believe when you show this to them, and it has, did you actually have the email or not?
Yes.
Okay, and the
Show
email had a
the
date to it.
Yep.
And you're like, wait a minute, I understand you say that it was,
They said it's up to the state.
that the policy changed in April, but I got this sent out in June, and it said 180 days from the date. So make it happen, Captain. And it didn't.
All right, bold ass predictions coming in on Michigan and Michigan State. 248-539-9797. Denny and Kent, you're on 97.1. Hi, Denny.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Happy Thursday. My bold ass prediction is, unfortunately, Kate McNamara gets injured in the 4th game of the season, and J.J. McCarthy takes over in the 5th game for the whole rest of the season.
Well, if J.J. McCarthy plays, I would think that Michigan fans would hope it would be earned by performance and not because of injury. The 4th game of the season is Rutgers, which means J.J. McCarthy's first start would be at Wisconsin. So at least it's not a tough game. But look,
Scotty is the pick for the to come out of the Big Ten West, is the Big Ten West champ.
sarcasm for people don't know.
Yes.
I would expect that they want to get him snaps, ideally, and I don't think that it's a given that Michigan rolls. I'm not even sure it's a given that they win against Western after watching much of last year over again in preparation for this year. And that's just the sad state of affairs of where we are until they prove something otherwise, specifically defensively. Last year's defense was just a mess. But anyway, ideally, at some point in this first few games, you have a comfortable lead and J.J. McCarthy can go in and get some experience. Because, Gator, how do you feel about a quarterback making it through an entire season without getting hurt in football?
I don't feel quite strong that happens. It seems like
You want to have more than one guy?
Yeah, you got to have somebody else ready to go.
And with Michigan State, they've got one guy. Well, they got two guys who play.
They got a really good situation in Michigan State right now.
So in Ann Arbor, they got two young guys that are very talented, but they haven't played a ton. So
They also have a veteran transfer too.
They do have a veteran transfer who I'm not sure where he fits on the depth chart. Drew and Fraser says, bold ass prediction, Michigan and Michigan State will have the exact same record of 6-6. Jim Harbaugh will still be the coach next year. I think
6-6. You think that works for him?
No.
It's 6-6. If you finish 6-6 and he comes back, isn't it all completely dependent on how they look against Ohio
It
State?
depends on who the 6 are, the 6 wins are. But technically, generally, I would think no. But if they're 6-6, and given that they, shouldn't lose a ton, they could be pretty good next year. Not if they're 6-6. 6-6 wouldn't prove much. If they go 8-4, 9-3, and keep most of their roster, and they could lose some guys, but they keep most of their roster, they could be pretty good. Unnamed texter, I think Michigan will win 9 games this year. They will be dominant up front on both sides of the ball against everyone except Ohio State and Wisconsin. LB and Ipsy, bold-ass prediction from Michigan. Jimmy will be fired on Halloween after losing to Michigan State, falling to 5-3.
Text before they said dominant on both sides of the ball.
Dominant up front on both sides of the ball against everyone except Ohio State and Wisconsin.
Do you look at their offensive line or defensive line and think that's a dominant group?
Yeah.
Do you think they have potential to be this year as a dominant group?
We got a lot of 4 and 5 stars, but they're going to have to start living up to that billing. Bold-ass prediction, Jim Harbaugh will be fired before the Ohio State game. That's from Steven.
Do you think that'll ever happen?
No.
I mean, unless they go like 0 for.
No, I think one of the things about it is if Jim Harbaugh during the year moves into a position in which Warren Manuel decides to make a change, I don't think he'll do it to the end of the year. And I don't think he might even do it till after the bowl game. And I think one of the things is when you have a guy that was a legend, you don't want to embarrass them. But if you have to move on, you move on. But I don't think that would happen. I predict that J.J. McCarthy will be the starter by week 4. That's from Gregory. Sam in Grand Rapids. My bold-ass prediction for Michigan is the game will decide who goes to Indy. My bold-ass prediction, Michigan State will finish above 500. That's from Alex and Claus.
7-5.
Yep. Both teams will finish 6-6. That's from Randy Texter. Put your bold-ass predictions in. 97 for the Wolverines and Spartans.
Have you ever felt more like not sure what to expect out of the season than this year from both Michigan and Michigan State because of the COVID situation and what we saw last year?
Given this thought, the answer is no. I mean, Michigan State's roster turnover, 19 transfers, means that there's a whole bunch of unknowns. First of all, even if we knew every one of those 19 transfers intimately and watched a bunch of Temple and Tennessee and Alabama and all the you guys in the schools that they came from, if we intimately knew each transfer, we don't know how they're going to fit it together. We don't know how they're going to fit into the system. So that's a complete unknown. Could go great. Could be a dream. In Michigan's case, they've got half their staff is their defensive scheme is being completely rehauled. They're going to do more than just pedal to the ground. They're going to play all out all the time. Man coverage, blitz from everywhere. And up front, offensively, they got some experience last year. They've got one guy that I think will be a dominant offensive lineman in Zach Zinter. They got a couple others that have showed some real promise, but a long way to go. And I'm not sure. Yes, they look like a deep group of receivers, but I don't know who the alpha dog is. It's probably Ronnie Bell, but who's their go-to guy? So, no, I know both schools. I don't know what to expect.
I mean, you don't know what to expect, but does anyone expect them to be really good?
I don't think anybody expects it.
Yeah.
Would I count it out as impossible? No, I wouldn't count it out as impossible, but I don't expect it.
I guess both teams won 2 games last year or whatever it was. So last year was a horrible year for both schools. COVID sucked. We know all this. But that's the baseline moving forward. Okay, that's where you were. You would expect improvement in the next year. And yet, I'm not sure how much improvement there's going to be. For Michigan State, I actually think there's going to be quite a bit of improvement because they've actually finally have a training camp under the belt with this coach, which they didn't really have last year. And I think that the transfers are going to help them. There are question marks about, without a doubt, there's question marks about the transfers, but I think for the most part, the transfers were upgrades. But I'd be stunned if they won 8 games. And yet, Mike's question the other day about what is your baseline with these teams, where you're like, okay, I can live with that. It's interesting because I feel like, 5 is selling it way too short, and it's 7 being too optimistic. I'm there at 6 for Michigan State, and with Michigan, I think you start just as a whole. Well, it's got to be a winning season, so you start at 7, and then you look at the schedule and see where are the games that you can get over 7. And I'm not sure what to expect out of Michigan. I just don't know. You don't know. You haven't really seen enough of the quarterbacks, so you don't know what to say to Michigan State. You don't know because they lost a bunch of talent off the team last year. This is the hardest year I can think of that you and I have done the show together with both schools in trying to figure out what kind of team you expect to show up on the field on Fridays and Saturdays.
Here's an interesting one from Chad. Daxton Hill will get offensive reps this year. Michigan State will be starting their third quarterback by week 7. 248-539-9797. I haven't heard any rumbling about Daxton Hill getting offensive reps, but they might have kept it under wraps pretty well then. Coming up today at 10:35, good night last night for the best-looking Asians.
Very interesting name, don't you think?
Yes, 97 won the ticket.
Hey, as summer heats up, so does the sports betting action at BetMGM. Sign up now using bonus code GATOR, and your first wager is totally risk-free, up to $1,000. Place your bets on all the exciting showdowns in Major League Baseball, MLS, and more sports from around the globe. And when you register with BetMGM, you'll also get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials on big games. From breathtaking goals to colossal home runs, the King of Sportsbooks takes every play to a new level of excitement. Simply download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code GATOR to get back up to $1,000 on your very first wager. With BetMGM, you're just a few taps away from turning game time into showtime. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. This excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you a fan of Twin Peaks? Sign up for our e-club to stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and for free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit TwinPeaksRestaurant.com/peaks-club to sign up today.
Spicy chicken nugs. We didn't say Wendy's, but you probably thought Wendy's, and you thought right. With a unique blend of spices, these are the spicy nugs that other spicy nugs wish they were. And with Wendy's new ghost pepper ranch sauce, you'll reach new levels of spicy. So you're probably thinking, where's the closest Wendy's? Get the only 6-piece spicy nuggets worthy of their name for free with purchasing the Wendy's app.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's offer must be redeemed via the Wendy's app. Download and account registration required. Not valid with other offers. See offer and app for additional terms.
Modelo Especial is the proud import sponsor of the Detroit Tigers. Text Modelo Tigers 2 to 844-333-121 for your chance to win one of 4 prize packs with a $250 gift card, a 4-pack of Tigers tickets, and cool Modelo Especial merch. Text Modelo Tigers 2 to 844-333-121 for your chance to win. No purchase necessary. Michigan residents only 21 and over. It's 9/10/2021. No alcohol awarded with prize. Rules at ConstellationBrandsSweepstakes.com/Modelo Tigers 2. Sponsored by Proud Import, Chicago, Illinois.
Spicy chicken nugs. We didn't say Wendy's, but you probably thought Wendy's, and you thought right. With a unique blend of spices, these are the spicy nugs that other spicy nugs wish they were. And with Wendy's new ghost pepper ranch sauce, you'll reach new levels of spicy. So you're probably thinking, where's the closest Wendy's? Get the only 6-piece spicy nuggets worthy of their name for free with purchasing the Wendy's app.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's offer must be redeemed via the Wendy's app. Download and account registration required. Not valid with other offers. See offer and app for additional terms.
When you're ready to buy something, the first thing you do is go online. But buying a home is different. You've got loan applications, pre-approvals, competing offers, the list goes on. That's where a Realtor comes in. Realtors have expertise and local knowledge to give you a competitive edge that a search bar just can't. And in today's market, an edge is what you need. So when you're ready to buy a home, the first thing to do is make sure you have an agent who's a Realtor. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are. of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Tapara of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Early betting tips give you the edge. Your first source for the day's angles, hot takes, analysis, and more. The Daily Tip from BetQL, presented by BetMGM. Weekday morning 6 to 9 on the Bet 1270 and the Odyssey app.
Scott Anderson, Tiger Baseball Saturday. In your bold ass predictions on Michigan State Gator, I've got a bunch of these recorded. I like to revisit them at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because it seems like no matter how bold some of these may seem, and some of them are more bold than others, at the end of the year you look back and you go, wow, that one came true. So send over your bold ass predictions, 248-539-9797 for the Wolverines and the Spartans. We have told you about this the last couple of years, and one of the reasons is we actually think this is one of the coolest things that you can do if you're a fantasy football player, and a great deal. And it sounds like an official promotion, but it's not. It's just one of these things that's so damn good. We think more and more people should do it. And that is the Detroit Lions offer a Ford Field for you to have your fantasy draft.
So cool.
And it's $100 a person. And for that $100, it includes a ticket to the opener. Additionally, Kang, what else did you guys get?
You get food, you get drink tickets, you get your own area to draft, a draft board. And then also what happened they did this year is, I don't remember doing them a couple years ago, is they offered special tickets at really low prices for a future game if you purchase them that night.
Wow.
So they're like lower bowl and upper bowl for like $20 or $50.
Wow.
For yeah, like I think it was the Cardinal game, but you had to buy it that night. But that's a huge discount. They don't ever offer any other time. And I was speaking to the Lions about this. This was, with COVID and everything going on, they kind of put it together late. There wasn't a huge promotion behind it. I mean, if you went on the website, you could find it, but and that's how we found it a couple of years ago. I think moving forward, though, I think their goal is to fill up a big portion of Ford Field. Now, this year we didn't do it in a suite, and a couple of years ago we did. My guess is they want to fill up all the suites, fill up like the atrium or something, and just kind of get as many people in many leagues as they can in Ford Field to draft. And it's cool, like you said, you get a ticket to the home opener. This year we did. Maybe in the future they get a home ticket to one of the games. Maybe not the opener, but yeah, it's a great. I think it's a really cool thing. And then with nowadays everyone just going online for drafts, or a lot of drafts are online. I think getting together for a draft with the guys is one of the best parts of fantasy football. Kind of doing a live draft and seeing each other in person. So.
Well, you guys, your league is called Best Looking Asians.
I did not come up with the name. There are, well, I can't deny I'm a good looking Asian, but I didn't come up with the name. But there are non-Asians in the league too, which is funny in itself.
Dan Smith, BYU.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, you guys, how many guys are in your league?
There's more than 12, but there's 12 teams, because some teams have a couple owners.
Okay.
Co-owners, tri-owners.
And you guys,
yeah, there is.
You posted something online. It looked like you guys did have a suite.
So what happened was, we were fortunate enough, the Lions found out I was doing this, and they said they wanted to, help take care of us a little bit in any way they could. So it wasn't much. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I was out late.
It's all right, it happens. I'm
You're so good cough.